What's up guys, Austin here from Pistol Trix. Now what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to show you the reload time without using sleight of hand on each Akimbo pistol / handgun in Modern Warfare 3. Now I don't know if this has happened to you, but it's happened to me plenty of times. You get a couple kills, you have to reload your weapon, and all of a sudden you get popped while you're reloading. Now it leads me to thinking, if I were using a different pistol, would this have gone differently? So that's what this video is aimed for. I'm going to show you all of that right now. Alright, so the first handgun we're going to look at is the USP-45. I'm going to set a timer and we're going to see the exact amount of seconds it takes to reload. Exactly 1.634 seconds. Now on to the next gun, the Desert Eagle. 1.935 seconds. Alright, P99s. 1.801 seconds. Now for the MP4s, we got a whopping 3.236. What? Okay, now we're moving on to the 44 Magnum. And it gives us a 2.936 reload time. Last but not least, the 5.7. 1.668 seconds. Alright, now I've made a chart for you guys showing the reload time, the rounds, and the shots to kill for each handgun in Modern Warfare 3. I want to start off by saying and reminding all of you that these stats and opinions I am giving are based on the idea that you are using Akimbo handguns without sleight of hand. I'm sure with sleight of hand and without Akimbo, the stats would be much different and I would give much different opinions on which one to use. But to start off, I want to go right to the MP412 and say that it is by far the worst handgun in this game and you should never use it. It's honestly a clone of the 44 Magnum, except for the fact that it has a slower reload time. Whether you are using sleight of hand or you aren't, there is just no use to use it. You might as well go with the 44 Magnum on that one. Now to go to the comparison of the 44 Magnum and the Desert Eagle, which will give us the final decision on if you were to use the high caliber pistols, which one out of the three would you use? The 44 Magnum has a 2.936 reload time, 12 total bullets before you have to reload, and a 2-shot kill. This is point blank to mid-range, of course. The Desert Eagle has 4 more rounds before you need to reload, another 2-shot kill, but a literally 1 second faster reload time without sleight of hand. Now because most of you aren't like us, you don't run around using pistols only, really the only time you would switch to your Akimbo pistols is when you're out of ammo with your main weapon and you have to get shots off to kill someone. So taking that into consideration, I would definitely say use the Desert Eagle. I'm sure the recoil throws a lot of people off the track of using this gun, but realistically, when you're using Akimbo, the recoil isn't going to affect you that much since you're not having to aim down your sights, you're just spraying and praying basically. It gives you a 1.935 reload time. That's a second faster than the 44 Magnum, and you get those 4 extra shots just to land 2 shots to kill, which leads me to the conclusion that definitely the Desert Eagle in that situation, I'm reminding you, in that situation would be a better choice to have than the 44 Magnum. Now onto the lower caliber pistols, I would go ahead, and it is a tough decision, but ultimately rule out the USP-45. This is because basically the fire rate, which you can't see on this chart, but the fire rate between the USP-45, the P99, and the 5.7 is much lower than the other two handguns. Even though it does have a quicker reload time than the 5.7 and the P99, it's only beating the 5.7 by 34 hundredths of a millisecond, which isn't going to do you that good. Now the tough decision is judging the P99 versus the 5.7. The P99 gives a 1.801 reload time with 24 rounds and 3 shots to kill, while the 5.7 gives a 1.668 reload time, 32 rounds, and the same amount of shots to kill. Now when I came to the conclusion of the Desert Eagle, what really sold me was the 1 second reload time difference from it and the 44 Magnum. When you look at the 5.7 and the P99, it's much different. The P99 has less than 2/10 of a millisecond difference than the 5.7. It is a longer reload, but it is obviously not a noticeable reload time. Going on to the round count with the two handguns, the P99 has 24 bullets, which means 12 bullets in each clip of the Akimbo, while the 5.7 has 32 bullets, giving you 16 in each clip. Now when you're in the situation when you just got a kill, you start reloading, and you see an enemy out of the corner of your eye, you need that reload time to be quick. You're not really worried about the round count. 24 rounds is more than enough bullets to kill. So 32 really doesn't give the 5.7 an edge for me, because if you honestly need 32 shots to kill someone, they're going to have you drop before you even have a chance to kill them. For my main decision between the two, the P99 has a much higher fire rate, meaning if you have a fast trigger finger, it is most definitely the pistol to choose. However, if you are not a very fast shooter with Akimbo, I would definitely say go with the 5.7, because the reload time is that much quicker, which might and might not help you, and the round count, if you have bad accuracy, also gives you 8 extra bullets. Now to compare my low caliber pick, the P99, with my high caliber pick, the Desert Eagle. The reload time for the P99 is 1.801 seconds, while the Desert Eagle is 1.935. They are both under 2 seconds and less than a millisecond apart. That being said, I completely strike the reload time from that making any difference in my opinion. When looking at the rounds between the two handguns, the P99 gives 24 while the Desert Eagle gives 16. Even though the Desert Eagle has a total of 8 less rounds in both clips using Akimbo, it does take 2 shots to kill while the P99 still takes 3. After looking at the shots to kill in the rounds, you also have to take into consideration the recoil. The Desert Eagle has a much higher recoil than the P99. I mean a much higher recoil. Not necessarily making it bad when you're playing in a close quarters map, say for instance Dome or any other map that has little alleyways where you're not going to be far away from an opponent when you turn a corner. Also taking into consideration, you're probably not like us here at Pistol Trix. We don't use our main weapon whatsoever. We run around with our pistols. When we run out of ammo, we knife. We do not switch to our main weapon. So if you are like us and you are going for a pistol only gameplay, I would say most definitely use the P99. It's going to give you more bullets total before each death, and you're going to have more shots to get your hits, especially if you're going to be playing a mid-range map. You're going to have much better chance of hitting than the Desert Eagle. Now if you're like a normal COD player, I would definitely use the Desert Eagle, because that most likely means you're going to be using your primary weapon most of the time, and your secondary weapon's only going to be there as a last resort. The most common last resort situation is if you're spraying and praying with your primary weapon, you run out of ammo and you need a quick switch to your secondary, and a secondary that would give you enough damage in a quick amount of time to get that kill. The Desert Eagle is definitely going to do that for you. Since it does pack a bigger punch in each bullet, it's going to cause your opponent to go red screen much faster than the P99 would, making them off balance in their shots and ultimately giving you the upper hand in the kill. So that's my final decision. If you're like us, use the P99 Akimbo, and if you're a regular COD player just looking for a good secondary, use the Desert Eagle Akimbo. Those two are going to give you the best chances you have at getting that quick kill right off the reload. Keep in mind that all the gun comparisons I've made so far are my opinion, except for the MP412 and the USP45. Out of the high caliber weapons, the MP412 is the worst of its class, no matter how you put it. Same goes with the USP45 with the low caliber pistols. Depending on how much time you need for a reload using high caliber pistols, the 44 Magnum might be right for you, but if you need the quickest reload possible, Desert Eagle wins, no doubt. Differing from those two, the P99 wins solely based on its fire rate if you have a quick trigger finger. If not, definitely use the 5.7. If you have different opinions on the handguns that I picked would be the best to use in the situations, feel free to post a comment below. I'm not going to take offense to whatever you choose. This was, like I said, solely based on my opinion. I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and I hope it helps you out in the near future. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and a favorite if you liked it a lot. And head over to our channel and subscribe to us if you like our content. Until next time, guys, this is Austin here from Pistol Trix, and I'll see you in the next one.